Crazy game at Fenway Park, and here we go. Top of the third, Boston at a 1-0 lead. Daisuke Matsuzaka trying to field the Akinori Iwamura bunt, and whoops, exactly. Iwamura is safe. Matsuzaka goes down right away, but nowhere even close to the ball. And he's going to signal, you're okay, I'm okay, we're all okay. After walking the next two straight batters, Matsuzaka facing Cliff Lee with the bases loaded. And, well, they're still going to be loaded now. Hits Floyd. Iwamura scores, ties the game at 1. Rays would add another run on a sac fly. Bottom 8, 3-2 Rays. Jason Bay off Dan Wheeler. You can see Bay saying, get up. It got up over the wall. Third straight game with a home run, 29th of the season. Boston a 4-3 lead. In the ninth, Dan Johnson was just called up off Jonathan Papelbon. Get out of town, and he means it. For Johnson, it's his second at bat of the season and his first in over 4 months. So we're still in the ninth. Here's Fernando Perez. He drives the Papelbon pitch. That goes high off the monster, goes for a double. The next batter, Diano Navarro. And they're still not done with Papelbon. Navarro now 11 for 26 over his last 6 games. That's a 423 clip. Perez scores in second, and all of a sudden, Tampa Bay has a 5-4 lead. Bottom 9, tying run on third, and Troy Percival gets Coco Crisp to pop out to end it. The Rays come from behind in thrilling fashion, and they win with a brand new hero. Game and a half lead over the Phils with the Nats in New York, and Carlos Delgado had himself a ball game. He's had himself quite a season, especially the back end. Mets up 3-2 in the bottom of the third. Get out. 34th homer of the year. Watch it again. Delgado, he's going to tag the scoreboard in right center. Bang, right there. Good thing Shea's going away this season. Delgado on fire late. Mets up 5-2. Up 5-3. Oliver Perez in a jam with runners on second and third. Anderson Hernandez singles up the middle. 2-run score. And the Nats able to tie the game at 5-all. The 2 batters later, Nelson Figueroa is pitching in relief. You know, relief has been a problem for the Mets this season, although not lately until now. Ryan Zimmerman, the single. Hernandez scores, and D.C. regains the lead 6-5. Bottom of the 6th. Mets down 8-7. A wild game. Charlie Manning throws an 87-mile-an-hour pitch to Carlos Beltran, and Beltran blasts that. His 23rd of the season. Mets take a 9-8 lead. And it's Delgado again. They go back-to-back jacks. Gives the Mets a 10-8 lead. Delgado's 7th multi-home run game this season. Ties the team record with Dave Kingman, King Kong, who did it in 1976. Luis Ayala on save opportunity. Again, no Wagner. Looks like Ayala's the guy. Gets Corey Castro to ground out. The bullpen and a potential MVP candidate come through for Jerry Manuel's Mets.
Marlins and Phillies equally bonkers. Phils come in, right? Game and a half back. All right, in the first, we got no score. John Baker, base hit to left off Kyle Kendrick. Okay, no damage there, right? That's ball 4 to Jorge Cantu. And then Mike Jacobs lines one to center. The bases are loaded. Yeah, and this here would be considered a rally. Dan Uggla facing Kendrick. Shoots one to right. Baker, Cantu scored 2-0 Marlins. This doesn't look like it's starting to be a happy day for those in the cradle of freedom. Top second, Marlins up 4-1, 2 on, 1 out. Cantu, oh, big money right there, huh? 3-run shot. 7-1 fish. Cantu's 24th, and Kendrick roughed up, pulled after an inning and third, 6 hits, 7 earned. In the fourth, home half, Phillies down 9-1. Cue their rally and cue the man. Big pop from him, huh? 41st leads the majors. Phillies cut the lead, well, to 6, which in baseball still a lot. Bottom 6, nobody out, 10-5 game. Greg Dobbs facing Doug Wechter. Dobbs doubles down the right field. That's going to rattle around in there for a while. Pat Burrell scored. Shane Victorino, the
Flying Hawaiian.
Thank you. Phillies down 10-7.
Boy power.
Matt Stairs, pinch hitting, singles to right. Dobbs scores. Phils cut the lead to 2, 10-8. They get a safety. We're right back in this thing. Bottom 8, Phils, 10-8, 2 outs. Runners on the corner. Big spot for Jason Worth facing Joe Nelson. There are the tying runs. Worth the go-ahead run. Nothing. Fly ball, nice, but can of corn. And your final is 10-8. Remember, cheddar is better. The crew struggling for runs and wins the last 10 days. Bottom 7, the Brewers are down 4-1, but Ray Durham pinch hitting and coming up large. off Jared Burton, his 5th. We're tied at 4. Behold the power of cheese. Top 8. Oh, the Brewers walking the line with the bases loaded. Brian Schauskas, Ryan Hannigan, the ground to Ricky Weeks. We'll flip over to J.J. Hardy for the 4th. So we're going to go to the 9th, still tied. And guess what? Runners on the corner this time for the Reds. Still 4 on, 2 outs. Brandon Phillips. We're going to flip it around. This time he'll ground to Hardy, over to Weeks, and top half of the inning is over. Bottom 9, runner on first, 1 out. Weeks, a laser out there, but Jay Bruce just hangs on, and then your runner is, well, he's hung up between 2nd and 3rd. Thought it was going to fall, thought he was going to score, thought the game was going to be over. Well, it wasn't until they got to the 11th, and Phillips failed in the 8th, not in the 11th. That's going to get down off Seth McClung. Corey Patterson scores. Reds go up 5-4. They win it because Coco Cordero gets his 5th save this season against his old team. 5-4. The Crew files a 9th inning loss with an 11th inning loss. Cubbies Cardinals sandwich around Milwaukee. Kyle Loesch 0-3 in his last 6 starts. In the first, Aramis Ramirez conks one, and that's going to go into the people. Ground rule double. Derek Lee scores on the play. Cubs up 2-zip. Top 3rd, 2-out hits, they get you to heaven. Ramirez again, singles to right field offload. Ryan Terrio, he taught John Travolta to dance. He can teach you. 3-0 Cubbies. Bottom 6, same numbers. Albert Pujols is up. Now, you got to be careful there with number 5 in red because he swings a mean bat, and that one's off Ryan Dempster. And it just keeps going and going, and his 33rd homer of the year ties it up 3-3, like the symmetry there. Bottom 9, Cesar Izturis. Check swing. Brendan Ryan beats the throw home. Take another look. Giovanni Soto's tag, not in time, and the Cardinals win it, much to the delight of the folks at Busch Stadium.
To the race in the NL West. Dodgers off their first loss in nearly 2 weeks, yet they still enjoy a game-and-a-half lead over the D-backs. L.A. in San Diego. Chase Headley with runners in the corners, laces one down the first baseline. Brian Giles is going to score from 3rd. Nomar with the relay gets Adrian Gonzalez. Watch it again. Did Gonzalez get under the tag? Let's go to instant replay. Can't do that. Not yet, anyway. To the 6th. Here's Manny Ramirez. Yeah, get out of town. Off Wade LeBlanc. Manny's 12th for the Dodger. 5th in his last 10 games. Dodgers down 2-1. Here's Andre Ethier at the top of the 8th. Slaps one down the left field line. Ball's going to get away from Headley. Goes all the way to the wall. Russell Martin would score. Ethier in with a triple. Dodgers tie the game. Ethier would later score a sac fly by Manny. And then Ethier in the top of the 9th doubles down the right field line. All 3 come around to score. And so the Dodgers score an important 6-2 win. LA's won 9 of their last 10. They're just killing Arizona. And so are the Giants. Barry Zito, looks like he's got his act in gear lately. The pitcher Doug Davis up with the bases loaded. And well, Davis is going to single to left. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Bottom of the 2nd is 2-0. Here's the other pitcher, Barry Zito, up with 2 on. And Zito cracks one down the right field line. Nate Sherrill comes around to score. And when I said Zito had it going on, I didn't mean as a hitter. He's been pitching much better. Benji Molina, the base hit in the bottom of the 6th. And Zito's allowed 3 earned or fewer now in 4 of his last 5 starts. Just in time for next season. To the 9th, Diamondbacks down 4-2. Man on, Chris Snyder. Get out of town off Brian Wilson, 2-run shot. We're tied at 4. Diamondbacks alive. Bottom 9, 1 out. 1st and 2nd for Eugenio Velez. He singles to right. Pablo Sandoval going to try to score from 2nd. Jeff Salazar throw home. Sandoval beats the tag. Watch this slide again. Gives the Giants their 4th straight win. And San Francisco just killing Arizona.
Blue Jays White Sox playing 2 for Tuesday because, well, Monday was lousy weather in Chicago. Bottom 3, no score, 2 on, no outs. A.J. Burnett strikes out Juan Uribe, Orlando Cabrera as well, and then A.J. Pierzynski. Punch out A.J., right? No. It's ground out to end the inning. Burnett, no hitter through 5. 7 innings pitched, 1 hit, 7 Ks. So good line for him in this big quality start. Lyle Overbeck doubles off the right field wall. Vernon Wells, Adam Lind will score. Toronto takes a 2-0 lead. These guys are just smoking on. I don't think they've given up on getting a playoff spot here. Long shot, but they're trying. B.J. Ryan on to close the game for Toronto. Blue Jays, 3-1 lead, 2 on, no outs. So we got a little soup here. Lexi Ramirez goes down. Nick Swisher, oh yeah, looked like strike 3 there, and Uribe grounds out. So the Sox leave 8 guys on base. Ryan gets his 28th save. Blue Jays win 3-1, and they would have the chance to sweep.
What do you say we go for a nightcap?
Done.
You know, with the Jays looking for their 10th straight win, all against teams with a winning record. The only other American League team in history to do that, the '78 Royals. How about that? Clayton Richard walked Kevin Mench on 4 straight pitches. What do they say about those leadoff walks?
They always come back to home.
I don't know, but it's never good. Scott Roll on the very next pitch gets out of town. 2-run shot, 9th this season. Blue Jays a 3-2 lead. Alex Rios, base hit to right. John McDonald will score. Rios, 10 RBIs in his last 8 games now. The Jays are hot. All this while Rios gets caught in a pickle, and Paul Konerko goes down with an apparent knee injury. Now, Rios, well, that should be tagged out right there. But then the concern turned to Konerko. In obvious pain. Watch him as he fires the ball to second. His right knee buckled. White Sox are calling it a mildly sprained MCL. X-rays will be done Wednesday. Jays do get their 10th straight.
Yes. Well, for the home team.
Right.
Why not? SportsCenter's top plays. Number 10, Fred. Oh, look at this. It's the they're in Chicago. They're testing their flying machines.
Right.
They don't look like they're working that great, but the nice thing is, you know, they don't charge you $50 for that second bag, so that's okay. The Crustacean Avenger eventually was the one that won that. That's what they're doing in Chicago. Heat of the pennant races. They're out flying those things.
Well, not a sign of the times for the Blackhawks upcoming season. Yankees and Angels, Robinson Cano. Look out, Rex Hudler, the former big leaguer in the Angels radio booth. The Wonder Dog making the grab and falling.
Number 8, Cubs Cardinals, Mark DeRosa. Albert Pujols fouls the pitch off of the foul territory. DeRosa, oh yeah, that was sweet. Look at that. Again, fans helpful, staying out of the way. The other ones lied. These got out of the way.
On the road, though, you're not supposed to let the road team make that catch there. All right, here we go at number 7. Scott Rowland. Nice play, the bare hand. Get Toby Hall.
Number 6, Royals Twins, Carlos Gomez. Hello.
Left center field. Gomez back, makes a great running, leaping catch to start the ball game. What a catch by Gomez.
At number 5, Blue Jays White Sox. This is from that second game. Vernon Wells to left side, and Orlando Cabrera. He's still making those sliding stops and fires a second to get Alex Rios. Blue Jays are hot. They sweep the doubleheader against the cold pale hose.
Number 4, A's Tigers, Cliff Pennington, Brandon Inge, the liner Pennington there. That's not the same guy that quarterbacks at all.
No, it's Chad.
This is Cliff.
No relation, I believe.
Different sport. A's win 3-2. Still good.
Number 3, Marlins and Phils. Here's Dan Uggla. Shane Victorino lines it to the right side, and Uggla with a diving stop. Everybody wants this guy on their team. Marlins win 10-8. Marlins want him too. Want him to stay.
Number 2, Rockies Braves. Casey Coxman lines the pitch up the middle. Look at Troy Tulowitzki, like a former driller does. Starts the DP. Braves, though, won at 5-4 and 10.
And number 1.
And another line drive, one hopper, off balance throw. An amazing go out there by Bettencourt, and they've got him. My, oh my. What a play by UniSC Bettencourt.
For Tampa, or 2.5 game lead. We go right to the 10th. Kevin Youkilis with 2 on, nobody out. That's a double play. Next batter, Jason Bay. Winning run on third. He can be the hero. Jason Bay was 0 for 7 in this game. Game still tied at 1. Bottom 12. David Ortiz actually trying to bunt for a hit, you know, with the big shift. Just get it down third base, and he's on. However, it goes back to the pitcher. It is ruled a sacrifice. Second career, first since 01. Again, he was trying to get on. 2 batters later, here's Bay. Already gave away before. He was 0 for 7. You know he's not getting a hit there. 2 outs. But Alex Cora can be a hero. Is that going to drop? No, it hangs in the air, and we're still tied at 1. Deanna Navarro, top of the 13th. Runner on third. He can't get the go-ahead run in. We're still tied at 1. Rays 1 for 35 with runners in scoring position in the series. 0 for 13 in the game until Carlos Pena. 3-run homer. First home run since August 27th, and the Rays have a 4-1 lead. The Red Sox are stunned. Bottom 14, Troy Percival's injury woes continue. The bases are loaded. He walks Ortiz, nobody out. And again, We've seen this multiple times. He comes out of the game while trying to save a game. There's Bay again. Bless his heart. He must be the sickest man in America and Canada. And then Alex Cora. So bases loaded, nobody out. They'd get one in, but no more. And the Rays win a wild one, 4-2. Carlos Pena.
The AL East standings before the Yankee highlight. Bombers visiting the Angels. Halos, magic number 2 going in. Yanks at a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th, but the Angels with the base loaded and nobody out. Andy Pettit strikes out Juan Rivera looking. Didn't agree with the call. Next up is Kendry Morales, and same deal. Morales also did not enjoy the called third strike. And then Pettit's 1 strike away from getting out of it, but Rob Quinlan singles to left. Gary Matthews, Garrett Anderson going to score. Xavier Nady throws the ball away, allows Vladimir Guerrero to score. Pettit 4 2/3, 9 hits, 3 earned. Again, he was 1 strike away. Pettit's 1-6, by the way, his last 9 starts. To the 9th, here's K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez, trying for his 56th save of the season. Facing Alex Rodriguez, gets him. A-Rod went 0 for 4, struck out 3 times. Now runners in the corners, and Rodriguez strikes out Hideki Matsui. 56th save, 1 shy of the tying for the all-time record. The Angels improved to 28-11 in Angels style. Some of the loyal Halo fans stuck around to cheer on the newly anointed AL West champions. The bubbly was flowing. Mike Scioscia and Vlad embrace a manly embrace. 4th AL West title in the last 5 years for the Angels.
From day 1 of spring training, these guys have worked so hard. I'm really proud of the way guys rebounded, like Irvin Santana. Joe Saunders came to his own. We had a lot of guys that had a lot to prove, and so far during the season they did. They got us over that first step, and there's a lot of baseball left, but we're going to be ready.
Just total, absolute satisfaction. Just all the hard work we put in, you know, in the off season and during spring training, you know, for it to come true, you know, it's just a lot of hard work paying off, and you know, hats off to these guys. We all worked hard as a team, and can't say enough about it.
Dodgers began the day in first by 2.5 over Arizona in the NL West. We saw the Angels clinch the AL West, and there's Manny Ramirez hitting home runs. 13th as a Dodger, 5-1 LA. Bottom 8, Padres down, 5-2. Will Venable at the plate. Corey Wade inducing the lane. There's Manny. That's a basket catch. Basket on the ground. Top of the 9th, Ramirez. Career homer, 5-2-4. Jimmy Fox is next on the list at 5-34. 34 homers overall for Manny this year. LA's won 10 of 11. They are red hot.
Yeah, none of that good news for Bob Melvin of the Diamondbacks, who have picked a bad time to lose 5 in a row. Not that there's ever a good time. Top of the 9th, 2-1 Giants, 1st and 2nd, 2 down. Brian Wilson to the close. Here's some rare good news for Arizona. Chris Young puts one with the gap. The tying and go-ahead runs come in to score on the triple. 3-2 Arizona. Bottom of the 9th now. 1st and 2nd, 2 out. 0-2 count. 1 strike away from at least keeping pace for a day. Except Eugenio Velez drops it, an extra base hit to right center. Aaron Rowan comes all the way around from first to score the winning run. 2nd straight game-winning hit in as many days for Velez. And wow, the Diamondbacks make it 6 consecutive. On a 10-game road trip, the Brew Crew trying to avoid being swept at home by the Reds. CC Sabathia had to improve their chances there. He's had great success over the years against Cincy. Gets Jerry Hairston. Sabathia in a jam in the 3rd. Not much of a jam when you strike out Joey Votto. CC out of the jam. Bronson Arroyo, the pitcher, a hitter? Not exactly. Watch that swing. Not his best. But the next pitcher, well, the next hitter for the Reds, to see he's not a pitcher, is that Hairston guy again. And he crushes Sabathia's offering. Hairston's 3rd of the year, 3-1 Cincinnati. And you see in the Reds dugout, where's the love? The old pie in the face, the cold shoulder, those things never get old.
Never.
Sabathia, he's a pitcher who can hit. Shot down the right field line, he doubles. Craig Counsell will hang on at 3rd. Bases loaded for J.J. Hardy. Shot to 3rd. Tough to see in the shadows. Great play, though, trust me, by Edwin Encarnacion to start the double play. Top of the 7th, 2-1 out Joey Votto. He strikes out. Sabathia gone after the 7th. 7 innings, 3 earned, 8 strikeouts. Mike Cameron comes through with the base hit in the bottom of the 8th. Brewers win. Sabathia, no decision. 13th consecutive quality start since the trade.
That makes Cub Nation nervous. Their worst stretch of the year. They've lost 7 of 8. How badly does Ted Lilly want this game? Well, he's got a 3-1 lead and looking to make it 4-1. Lilly, the pitcher. Boom! Yadier Molina. Lilly leads with his pitching shoulder, the left shoulder. Molina stays in the game, but then would leave later with a bruised left thigh. Lilly was out at home. 3rd inning. Lilly pitching to Albert Pujols. Also a dangerous situation. Pujols to left. That's in there. Play at the plate is Turris. But look at Giovanni Soto, the catcher. Alfonso Marquez looking right at it. Accurately called. Cubs still lead 4-1. Pujols 2 for 4, hitting .362. Kerry Wood, can he save it? It's 4-1. Now it's 4-3. Ryan Ludwig's amazing season continues. 33rd homer. It's a 4-3 game. Later, though, Josh Phelps gets a 2-0 pitch. 29th save for Wood. Lilly gets the win. 14-9. He pitched real well. And the Brewers keep pace with the Cubs.
Again, Sox trying to hold off the Twins and the smoking hot Blue Jays at the same time. Holy expletive, Toronto's won 10 in a row, all against teams with winning records, tying the modern Major League record. Jerry Owens gets down the suicide squeeze. The White Sox had 9 hits and 5 runs off of Roy Halladay. White Sox up 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Brian Anderson single to left center off Nick Swisher scoring. The White Sox had a 6-2 lead. To the 9th, here we go. White Sox now up 6-4. Bobby Jenks trying to close it out with 2nd and 3rd. Jose Bautista ground ball. Orlando Cabrera gets the 2nd out. Lyle Overbay scores. Never assumed the double play. Next batter, Alex Rios. Game time run 90 feet away. Jenks up and in. How about 97 miles per hour of cheese on an 0-2 count? Knock Rios to the ground. Jenks can be intimidating. Very next pitch, oh yeah, set him up. Low and away, little check swing job to end it. White Sox win. Blue Jays' 10-game win streak is history.
Center John Butchergrass, Steve Levy are your anchormen. The Mets began the day 3 up in the loss column on the Phils, home to the Nats. Mets have won 19-26, and look at Fernando Tatis. Look at him! To the gap off the Malibu in left center. Wright and Beltran score. Part of a 6-run 3rd for the Mets, up 7-1. Look at this. Tempers flare in the 4th. Elijah Dukes. He had homered earlier. Mike Pelfrey says the man's got to pitch inside. Benches do not clear. 5th inning. 2 on for Dukes. There, that hit you. Dukes walks to first. Keeps his cool. Next batter, Corey Castro with the bases loaded. And Pelfrey look at Damon Easley's reaction. He wanted that one. Guzman, Millage score. Pelfrey 5 innings, 5 earned. Nats down by only 7-5. Top of the 6th, Christian Guzman's great year continues. The Nats erase a 6-run deficit. Hits that one off Aaron Heilman. Mets bullpen woes continue at least in this game. They've actually been pretty good lately. Brian Schneider with the Mets up 9-7. It's 11-7 as 2 runs will score. Schneider is out, trying to stretch it into a double. Look at Guzman, 3 for 5, 5 RBIs, hitting .314 this year, 45 points above his lifetime average. It's 11-10. David Wright was 4 for 4. That is a 2-run homer. 109 RBIs for Wright to go along with his 28 home runs, back up to 13-10. And that's how the game ends.
Reyes with the diving stop gets to
Here's our boy Elijah Dukes. There he comes. Yeah, raise it up. Luis Ayala, 7 save, and the Mets win 13-10. Joe Smith gets the win in relief.
All right, so no love there for the Phillies, who are trying to hang in there. They have the Marlins in town, and they call this guy the big man. Somebody calls him that. Ryan Howard, get out of town. Major League leading 42nd home run of the season. I think Anderson calls him that. Top of the 3rd, Luis Gonzalez. He goes Gonzo, 8th home run of the season. So the Fish had a 2-1 lead. These games are important to Philadelphia. Tied at 3 in the 8th. Josh Willingham down the left field line. Brett Carroll scores. It appears Robert Andino scores, but they're going to call fan interference. Willingham, ground rule double. Andino was sent back to third. You can see the fans saying, hey, I didn't do anything. So is he lying or is he telling the truth? Instant replay. It appears the fan actually does not touch the ball. Security doesn't care. Get out. Marlins take the lead 4-3. To the ninth, Dan Ugla puts a shot in the gap. Alfredo Amezaga is going to score. Hanley Ramirez is going to come around as well. Just the Phillies' fourth loss in the last 14 games. But
They're not up here during this SportsCenter Top 10. We begin in Houston. Miguel Tejada. That's a 4-run homer. Grand slam. The Astros are coming. They win again 7-4 over Pittsburgh.
They this season's Rockies. Nationals and Mets at number 9. Fernando Tatis, the leaping grab to Rob Lasting's Millage. Watch it again. Millage, of course, used to be a Mets player, robbed by Tatis, who's currently a Mets player.
Number 8, Armenia and Spain. Marco Senna of Spain. My goodness. He's like Alexander Ovechkin, but with his leg. Spain wins 4-0. 4-0 hockey term, Steve.
At number 7, Nats and Mets. Again, Ryan Zimmerman, the chopper. David Wright, who needs a glove, throws out Zimmerman at first. Wright's really come on, offensively and defensively.
Number 6.
2 for 2 and make him 3 for 3 unless the catch is made. Ellsbury makes the catch and steals a hit from Willie Ibar.
Number 5.
It's lined and caught at third base. They may get a double play. Got him. Hessman doubled up at first. What a play by Baisley.
All right, number 4, Bobby Orr, what Ross Lingenfelder is to Perrysburg. Ki Sung-young of South Korea is to South Korea. Watch it again. That's in. Game ends in a 1-1 drop.
Field assist for Soriano.
Number 2, Rockies Braves, Josh Anderson. Josh Anderson, get it right next to Rabbit Moranville there. What a catch. Watch it again. There it is.
Josh Anderson, what a catch.
And at number 1, Croatia against England. Theo Walcott starting in place of David Beckham. They put on a show. He ought to. Starting in place of David Beckham. Scored in the 26th minute, the 60th minute, and the 81st minute. A hat trick for him. Somebody get Melrose on the phone. England wins 4-1.